I'm Dana Denha, and you're watching FYI. Ann Arbor is an innovative place dedicated to the future, a future for every person, regardless of sexual orientation. Year after year, the city hosts a party to support the LGBTQ plus community. Watch.
Ann Arbor Pride, just a day where we all get to come together, celebrate ourselves, be our true, genuine selves, perform, just feel like a whole family, like a whole unity of people.
Pride is a celebration. Pride is a protest. Pride is community.
I think it's important to celebrate who we are and to accept everyone as we are. And that's something that I think this country has forgotten.
In a world where it's hard to find true love, I think it's important that we embrace and allow everyone to love who they want.
This isn't a choice. We were born like this, and we're not stopping. We're not gonna censor ourselves. We're not gonna hide. We're done. We're done. We're just love wins.
Pride becomes a space where you can dress how you want to dress. You can present how you want to present. You can explore and learn about others and connect with others that are different than you. I think the LGBTQ plus community has an immense amount of diversity that we can use to only strengthen the work that we're doing together.
When I say human, I think of anyone who is a Homo sapien, and that we need to be accepting of whatever form and shape that takes.
When you think about the core message around advocacy, education, and community development, it's really around acceptance and love. And we need people to do that. We need people different than us to participate in that. And so whether you just stumble upon Pride because you happen to be in downtown Ann Arbor, or you come here intentionally, I hope it's an experience for everyone.
The 2025 Ann Arbor Pride will take place on August 2nd in the downtown. Stay tuned, and we'll be back with more in exactly 30 seconds. The city is home to more than 160 parks with scenic views, places to play, and some top-notch facilities. See all that Cranbrook Park has during this Park Peak. Cranbrook Park is a 17-acre park nestled within several housing developments between Main Street and Ann Arbor-Saline Road in the southwest corner of the city. The park provides a sprawling green space with open fields and wooded natural areas. There are 3 pedestrian entrances to the park, 2 on Oak Brook Drive and 1 on Main Street. There are sidewalks along Ann Arbor-Saline Road, Oak Brook Drive, and Main Street, so the park is accessible on foot from a variety of locations. An accessible paved path runs through the park, and there's a pedestrian bridge connecting the Main Street entrance. In the park, you'll find a play area, a half basketball court, a tennis court, picnic tables, and benches. You'll also find a small natural area with unpaved meandering trails. This natural area is a wetland where no trail maintenance can take place. Boots are encouraged as it can be wet and muddy. Explore at your own risk. For more information about Cranbrook Park or other city parks, visit a2gov.org/parkfinder. Ann Arbor is known as a bike-friendly community, but there can be questions about the rules and sharing city streets. Learn more about safe biking in this month's City Roundup in 60.
Hi, this is Officer John Gilby from the Ann Arbor Police Department with a reminder about bicycle safety. Whether you're riding to school, work, or just around town, always wear your helmet because it could save your life. Be sure to be visible, and the city requires all cyclists to use lights in the rear and rear reflectors after sunset. Ride with the flow of traffic and obey all traffic signs and signals. And if you're riding on the sidewalk, ride slowly and announce your presence to pedestrians. Make sure that you stay alert and watch for parked car doors, and never ride distracted. Protect your bike by using a U-lock to avoid leaving valuables in plain sight. And drivers, remember in Ann Arbor, you must give cyclists at least 5 feet of space when passing. Let's work together and make the Ann Arbor streets safe for everyone. Stay alert, ride smart, and stay safe.
Comedies are making a comeback if local filmmaker Benjamin Vomastek has a say in it. The University of Michigan grad is on a mission to bring the R-rated raunchy comedies from yesteryear back, with all the laughs and kooky nonsense that make us forget all our troubles. Benjamin's latest feature film, Hometown Summer, is sure to bring all the feels to all of us as we laugh our way through the cinema that reminds us of the 90s and early 2000s. Joining me is Benjamin Vomastek, writer and director of Hometown Summer. Welcome to the show, Benjamin.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on, Dana. I really appreciate it. Looking
I'd like
forward
to
to our
know a
discussion.
little bit about you, Benjamin. You went to the University of Michigan. Where did this filmmaking passion come from? Is this something that started when you were like a child, or is it something that grew as you grew?
Yeah, so I mean, I've always really loved movies. I actually fell in love. My first love was the horror movie genre growing up. I know my aunt would frequently take me to the theater, and we would watch all the sorts of films that my parents wouldn't want to watch with me. And yeah, that was where my love really started. But then around COVID, when everything shut down and we were in lockdown, I really fell in love with the comedy movie genre. I wasn't allowed to watch these sorts of movies growing up. And so when COVID hit, I was 21, right at the end of my senior year. And so there's just a backlog of so many comedy movies that I had never seen. The likes of American Pie, Wedding Crashers, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Role Models, Superbad, you name it. And like that was really what got me through COVID was just there was just so many great R-rated comedy movies that I had never seen, and I was just watching a new one every night, and they were just hitting one after another. I just loved all of them, and just knowing that every day I had a new one waiting for me. And yeah, I mean, once things started to open back up, I had always loved going to the theater. Started going about weekly around 2017, but yes, then when things started to open back up 2021, I mean, we had that phase where things would open and then they would close again. But
Sure.
once, so like 2022, we were pretty close to normalcy again. And, I just noticed that like these movies were not coming out. Uh, there were just no R-rated comedy movies coming to theaters, and the few and far between that would come would only be in for a couple of weeks, and the bulk of which, and they're still not made anywhere near the frequency that they are made, but the bulk of the ones that would come out would just go straight to streaming. And, I just wasn't also connecting with these ones the way I did with the ones from the 2000s. And it really
Totally
just came
true, yes.
from,
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
so,
you think about like back in the 90s and early 2000s, you had like these movie stars that were associated with these comedies.
right,
Like you have Crashers back there. Obviously, Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn were in
absolutely.
a lot of comedies and stuff. And like, so you like expected this certain quality of actor, but you also expected like a certain production quality and writing involved that I,
Right.
a lot of comedies, it's harder for me to find a comedy that really resonates with me that's newer.
Absolutely. Yeah, I completely agree with you as well. Yeah, no, I definitely resonate with that. And it really just came from just trying to make the movie that I wanted to see.
Yeah, and I like that nostalgia aspect of it. Like you mentioned, I mean, Fast Times at Ridgemont High has got to be one of the greatest movies of all time. Like
Oh
it's
yeah.
comedy, but it's also like a coming of age tale that like I think regardless of when you were born, you can watch that film and you feel like what they feel. It's all these things that you've dealt with in your own life too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, I mean, 100%. I mean, that came out in 82. So then I graduated from high school in 2016. So I mean, that's a 40-year gap.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, it's just, I mean, it's such a perfect example of what you were just mentioning. Like, it's just universal themes, universal thoughts, emotions, experiences. Like, it really doesn't matter that they don't have modern cars or cell phones or social media or anything like that. It's really just the human experience of that movie. I mean, yeah, no, that's one that I can always go back to. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely my top 10 movies of all time for sure.
And you made another film prior to Hometown Summer, right? You made another, was it a feature, Rosetta Stoned?
Yes, that is correct. Yes, Rosetta Stone. That was my first feature. That was the one that was the first one when I was going on that mission of trying to make the movies that I wanted to see. Just a silly, low concept stoner comedy. Yeah,
The name alone is hilarious. I have not seen
Thank
any
you.
of that movie, and I read the title, and I was like, "This is like the greatest title of all time."
Thank you.
So if that's an, I mean, that says something about you and like your ability to know comedy and like come up with comedy, and comedy is not easy to write either. Like you never know what kind of joke people are, it's going to land with people.
Right. Yeah, that is very true. Yeah.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about your newest film, Hometown Summer, and you just had a premiere at the Michigan Theater.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, so we just premiered May 22nd at the Michigan Theater. Hometown Summer follows the story of three childhood best friends who all plan to attend the same college. And when one of them backs out of their lifelong plan, it throws them for a whirl in one final summer together, filled with parties, romantic flings, and a whole ton of regret.
Well, why don't we watch the trailer for Hometown Summer? And
Right
I'm
on.
You're whining about having to go to France? Come on, man. Think of all the people you're gonna meet.
Very different time schedules, very different everything. What if we don't talk?
Bro, you're acting like we're gonna die. Everything will be the same when you get back.
Hey, Grandpa Jim. How's life been?
I had a heart attack 4 months ago. My toe amputated 3 weeks ago. I've got the crab, so I'd say my life is pretty great. What do you think?
Did Owen tell you he wasn't coming to USC in the fall?
Bro, we can do everything we were going to do at USC, but do it here.
I'll give him a taste of Cali, and he'll be counting down the days till we move in.
I always knew he was a shy boy in gym class, so it's cool to see other sides of people.
I could run a marathon.
I haven't done too bad this summer. Or if you want in-home visits, I have plenty of girls willing to travel.
You hired strippers? What are we shooting, a porno?
Yeah, we're here to clean you dirty boys up.
I love you.
I'd hang around with you kiddies tonight, but I got some waiting for me back in my place.
We don't need to think this through. Women, empty bedroom, that's it.
The munchies have hit me.
Courtney is an absolute freak in the sheets. How's Caitlin?
That sounded like a gunshot, and if the cops come, we could lose our scholarships. And if we lose our scholarships, we don't go to college, and then we end up in jail.
Just a freak.
We're back with Benjamin. He was like filling us in on Hometown Summer. When did you make this movie?
Yeah, we shot it the summer, last summer, 2024, July and August.
And then, so the process of editing and all of that post-production, was that like a year of your time then?
It was quite a bit. Yeah, Brendan, my editor, co-producer, my overall creative partner. Yeah, we worked closely together. He's phenomenal. That process took 7, 8 months. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it is timely, and that's the part that's going to make the movie, you know. That's
Right. Oh,
what everyone's
yeah.
going to see. So, you use local talent. Tell me about the people in the movie that are people that, live in this area. They're U of M graduates, EMU graduates.
Yeah. So our cast and crew, 90% Michigan residents, and the 10% other are from Ohio, Toledo area. So everyone's very much local. The crew is made up almost entirely of Wayne State and University of Michigan graduates. The cast, University of Michigan and Michigan State University graduates. Uh, yeah, and then I mean, also, so the bulk of the characters in the story are 1920s aged. And then like some of the parent characters, local talent as well. For example, Bill Vincent, who plays Jim in the movie, is a professor at Michigan State University. Uh, yeah.
And then it was shot locally too, right?
Yeah, shot entirely in Ann Arbor.
So will we see some of those like Ann Arbor landmarks throughout the film, or is it more like just any place kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, so the bulk of it is shot at residencies, but there are some exterior shots that you may recognize. We'll see.
Well, I always think that's fun being someone local and like when you get to see a movie like at the Michigan Theater and you're like, oh, I know that spot. Or even if it's
Yeah.
close, like if that's cool, it makes you like feel good.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, why don't you tell me a little bit about, the writing process? Do you got any jokes from the or any lines that you really enjoyed from the film that you'd like to share with us?
What's this show rated?
It's during the day, so I wouldn't give you anything too crazy.
I don't know. You might need to check out the movie then. But the I mean the writing process, yeah, I mean I just drawing from personal life experience. I think that with movies, I think the best thing you can do is write things, events, characters that are personal to you, and because that's what people are going to connect with. If you connect with something, there's something you enjoy, something you find to be funny, there is going to be an audience for it. I mean, we are just humans at the end of the day. And drawing inspiration from real life and also just from the comedies I love. I mean, I definitely Seth MacFarlane, the creator of Family Guy, Ted, Million Ways to Die in the West, you name it. One of my biggest inspirations, from earlier in life, I would definitely say that his sense of humor has shaped my sense of humor more than anyone else, but also in modern times. I mean, he hasn't made a comedy in a while. Hopefully that changes soon. But Todd Phillips, the writer director of Road Trip, Old School, and then of course the Hangover trilogy, he's definitely shaped a lot of my adulthood sense of humor. And I mean, just subconsciously, the things that I see and learn and connect with from their creations definitely have influenced the writing as well.
What are your hopes for, bringing these comedies back? Do you think it's going to gain some traction, hopefully?
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal. I mean, we had a pretty solid turnout at the premiere. I am hoping, I'm about 95% sure that I'll have at least a couple more screenings in the area. And yeah, I mean, I would just love to get everyone together to come out to see the movie in theaters. I mean, I think that movies were meant to see on the big screen, and I think there's nothing that you can replicate from that. Not only seeing it on the big screen, but seeing it with an audience. I think there's just nothing more beautiful than the communal experience of seeing a comedy movie in theaters. And I'm just playing the long run game. I plan to be at this indefinitely. I mean, I'm already writing my next movie, and I just want to keep on making these comedy movies and hopefully build an audience and a community, and you know, hopefully down the road help bring back the theatrical comedy. That's my long-term goal for sure.
Well, and we all know that like movie theaters struggle a little bit more than they used to. You get like those
Yeah.
big budget Marvel flicks and stuff in there, but that's like the only real big, you go to the theater, I'll go see something smaller. It'll be like me and three other people in the theater. And then you go to
Yeah.
one of those Marvel ones, it'll be full. But it used to be, I worked at a movie theater when I was in high
Mhm.
school, and it used to be the weekends, the movie theater was packed. Like almost every theater was packed. And it's just not like that anymore. And I agree with you. There is something so special about watching a movie in the theater and having that unique experience in the theater. And it actually makes you remember the film more because you got
Oh
out of your
yeah.
house and you went and watched it in the theater. But the other thing is that I don't know if a lot of people realize this, but it takes money to make movies.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you get your money, but you have to have a budget to make these movies and have all these people working for you and these actors and your crew and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, I've completely self-funded both of my films. I especially when you're an early filmmaker, people just aren't going to give you money.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, I mean, honestly, the bulk of what I've saved up for personal funds has gone into making both of these movies. I, my next feature, which I hope to shoot next summer. Well, hope is the wrong word. I will be shooting it one way or another next summer. I'm going to be running a crowdfunding campaign at some point in the next few months, and I will also be I'll also be committing money to it as well. But yeah, no, it's definitely not cheap, and I'm definitely trying to make a little bit of a bigger scale movie this next time around, and definitely trying to get some support from the community as well.
Yeah, I mean, you should grow with each film you make to make it just better than the next.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I've definitely seen growth from Rosetta Stone to Hometown Summer, and yeah, I mean, definitely aiming to get even larger growth for the third film.
I love how passionate you are and that you are like a go-getter and like willing to do whatever it takes to get your art made, which is like something that you can't say about a lot of people. It's easy to like live a life where you like get your 9 to 5 job and you make your money and you have your insurance and do all this stuff. But like to actually like put yourself out there, this is like your baby. This is your brain coming
Hmm.
to life. These are all ideas from your heart and soul, and you're putting your money into it. I mean, that's really amazing, Benjamin.
Yeah, thank you, Dana. That's really kind of you to say. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I would just live a life of regret if I didn't make these movies. It feels like I don't have a choice. Yeah, like this is everything to me. It really is. And I could have spent the money doing so many other things. I could have bought a house. I could have taken several trips to Europe and so on and so forth. But I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want to look back on my deathbed and say, remember when I wanted to make these comedy movies and I never did?
Yeah, totally. Are there ways other than like, you're hoping to have another premiere down the road? Are there ways we can watch Hometown Summer even Rosetta Stoned?
Yeah, Rosetta Stone is on Amazon. And in terms of Hometown Summer, I am going to, like I said, try to have a couple more theatrical screenings. When I do run my crowdfunding campaign, one of the perks will be to get Hometown Summer and the behind the scenes documentary as well. Beyond that, I don't have an exact timetable. There are just so many variables, but it will eventually come to Amazon and potentially other streaming platforms. But that's where we're at right now.
Well, just like any other theatrical release, we have to wait to watch it, right?
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
Well, when we do get that chance, why don't you tell people before we go why they should check out Hometown Summer in the theater if they get the opportunity and on Amazon when it arrives?
Yeah, I mean, if you love the 2000s style comedy and you feel like these movies just aren't being made anymore, maybe you don't connect with modern comedies the same way you connected with the comedies from 20 years ago. Well, here's a movie that was made in modern times that uses that sense of humor for a baseline. And yeah, I mean, I think also just when you support these sorts of lower budget movies, this just helps to create more original, non-existing IP stories. It helps bring more of them about. Yeah.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. I hope your mission to bring the comedy, the R-rated comedy, back to the mainstream really comes true, and I hope you're a part of it. And we hope to have you in the future, maybe on your next film, and we can talk about that too.
Sounds phenomenal. Yeah. Thank you very much, Dana. I really appreciate it.
Yep. For more on this and other programs, visit a2gov.org/CTN. Visit youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor to see all that we have to offer. And remember to like, subscribe, and ring that notification. Thanks for watching and tune in next time to FYI.